Nick carefully slipped poison into his wife's wine glass, then casually handed it to her as if nothing had happened. After putting on a show of affection, he made up an excuse about a company meeting and left. In reality, he was hiding just outside the door, watching to see if she'd drunk the poisoned wine. Soon word spread that Anna had died unexpectedly, but what puzzled the police was that her death wasn't from poisoning, it was sudden heart failure. This was exactly what Nick had hoped for, the special effect of the poison he'd chosen. To avoid suspicion, Nick holed up at home, lying in bed and playing the grieving husband until all the relatives had left that evening. Then he sprang into action. Nick hopped on his motorcycle and rode to a young woman's house. It turned out he'd done all this for her. It was the only way he could be with Amy while keeping his wealth intact. Unfortunately, their celebration was short-lived. The police called Nick with shocking news. Anna's body had vanished from the morgue. The couple froze. Had someone discovered their plan? To avoid raising suspicion, Nick had no choice but to go to the morgue and cooperate with the investigation. The security footage showed something had caught the guard's attention, and 5 minutes later, he'd fled the building in panic, eventually being found unconscious in the woods. Police suspected someone had stolen the body to avoid an autopsy, but Nick knew he hadn't done anything like that. Suddenly, the power went out in the entire building. While the police went to check the electrical system, Nick heard noises coming from the morgue behind him. Following the sounds, he discovered a metal box had mysteriously appeared on his wife's drawer. Inside was the very poison he'd used on her. Before he could react, the lights flickered back on. Nick quickly shoved the bottle into his pocket. The police rushed back and demanded to know why he was there. Was he looking for something belonging to his wife? Nick insisted he hadn't touched anything, but when the officers saw the open metal box, they immediately slammed him against the wall and searched him. They quickly found the bottle. Nick frantically explained he just picked it up off the floor, that it wasn't his. The officers clearly weren't buying it. Just then, Nick's phone rang. The police insisted he answer it on speaker. It was Amy calling. Before she could say anything, Nick quickly pretended she was his sister, telling her he was helping police investigate his wife's missing body. Then he hurriedly hung up. Seeing the officers weren't pressing him further, Nick asked to use the bathroom. The moment he closed the door, he called Amy back, asking if she'd told anyone about their plan. Nick now suspected someone was deliberately leading the police to evidence, someone who knew everything they'd done. Amy swore she hadn't told a soul, then suggested something that made Nick's blood run cold. What if his wife wasn't really dead? As he splashed water on his face to calm his nerves, he noticed the bathroom window had been opened, and there was a letter on the windowsill with a strange message written on it.